If you are about ready to stop renting, start living on your own, or are planning to buy your first primary residence, it should be a multifamily property. And in this video, I will tell you why. Most people immediately look at a single family home or a condo in the city without first considering the benefits of buying multifamily. I am Tom Santella, the go-to real estate agent in Brooklyn, New York, and we are about to dive into the pros and cons of buying multifamily first. If you went with the crowd and bought your first single family property before multifamily, you're usually paying about 25 to 35% of your income to cover your mortgage payment. This is a significant expense and is the largest percentage of expenses for all Americans. This is also a debt you take on for typically a 30-year term, which is a long commitment to losing 25 to 35% of your income, which is what most Americans do. However, the option exists to buy a 2 to 4 unit multifamily property and live in one of the units yourself to significantly reduce this expense or have it even paid for completely by the tenants in the other 1 to 3 units. So when it comes to real estate, these smaller multifamily properties are still seen as single family residences, while anything 5 units or more is considered commercial real estate. With many government programs to help get people into real estate, a well-known mortgage option is the FHA loan, which offers buyers just 3.5% down when buying a 2 to 4 unit property, as long as you live in one of the units for at least 1 year. You are required to live there for 1 year because owner-occupied housing is seen as less risky to lend on, and it is actually mortgage fraud if you buy this property with the FHA loan and don't live there. But after a year, you could move out and then have your own investment property once another tenant moves in, and earning you even more income than it did while you lived there. This loan option gives homebuyers the ability to own their own residence and have their mortgage paid for by the other tenants. For example, let's say you find a $1 million 4-unit property somewhere in Brooklyn. This would only require $35,000 down as down payment to own this property. If you were to buy a commercial multifamily property, 5 or more units conventionally, you would typically need 15 to 25% down. So this is a great way to own an income-producing asset as well as your own residence. More so, single family is usually 20% down as well, so you can get a higher valued asset this way. Since it is still considered residential, the qualifications for FHA loans are essentially the same as single families. Let's say market rent for the units you own in is $3,000 each. You receive this from 3 tenants and you have $9,000 to help pay your mortgage or even earn extra income. More so, lenders factor 75% of the income of the property into their underwriting of the loan. So this way you can get approved for a higher priced asset since you now have a better debt service coverage ratio with the income from the property being applied to your income. Now, with all the many benefits owning multifamily has, there are a few downsides to deal with. To some, the requirement of having to live there for 1 year may not be preferred. Sometimes the properties you qualify for or are looking to buy may not be in the areas you first considered moving to. Luckily, in Brooklyn and Queens, multifamily properties are all over the place, so there is not much of a supply restriction that other markets might face throughout the country, but you can still be limited by price. The way I see it is 1 year of living in exchange for ownership of an investment property for the rest of your life, if you do it correctly, is totally worth it. Next, in exchange for the loan down payment of 3.5%, lenders require you to pay MIP, or a mortgage insurance premium, which will slightly raise the amount you pay every month and insure your mortgage. However, I would remind you that this cost is getting paid by your other tenants' rental income, so the higher payment isn't as detrimental as you would think. There are also several ways to get rid of the MIP after some time, but it is just something to at least be aware of. Another is that you are now a landlord, and you'll have to deal with the problems of the other tenants living in your building. This could be a massive pain if you allow bad tenants, but it could also be a walk in the park if you screen and select the right tenants to live in your property. You are now responsible for managing the operations of this building, dealing with tenant turnover, potential evictions, upkeep of the property, and fixing any issues that might arise while tenants are living under your roof. The good news is you're only responsible for 1 to 3 other tenants, and this can be a great introduction into owning investment properties and understanding property management if owning more rentals is something that you're interested in. As you continue to grow your portfolio, you can get rid of any headache of management by hiring a property manager. However, for the first multifamily property, I would not recommend this because dealing with 1 to 3 tenants is extremely manageable, especially when you live next door. I made this video because I think it's extremely important to be aware of your purchasing options when looking for a primary residence or maybe moving out of your first apartment. The ability to own a multifamily property that pays for your living and earns you additional income is unfortunately very overlooked, and it is an opportunity that should be taken advantage of by all. After just 1 year and you still want to live in a primary residence, you still can. But now you just have an investment property that pays for itself and helps pay for your new residence, earning you money. And it only took 1 year to do this. So I would totally recommend anyone looking to move into their next apartment or get their first primary residence to consider this strategy because it will save and earn you money for years to come. I hope you will consider buying multifamily as your first home after watching this video. And if you have any questions, I will be sure to answer them if you just leave them in the comments. If you have been convinced that this is the way to buy real estate and start your journey, I am helping multiple clients look for property just like this in Brooklyn and Queens, and would be happy to help you as well. Please shoot me a text, send me an email, or give me a call. My contact information is in the description below. If you enjoyed what I had to share today, please like and subscribe to the channel. There are always more videos and expert real estate tips to come. As always, thank you for watching.